Welcome to my lovely tiny kitchen. This is where I prepare all my lovely treats, and today I'm going to make two sweet treats that are absolutely delicious and that have no processed sugar in them, and they do not have any artificial sweeteners either. And when I bring them into the office to share them with my colleagues, they love it. So if you work with some health conscious people, you will be very popular if you bring those treats in. And the first treat that I'm going to share with you is a raw treat, and I found it online. Someone shared it with me actually. I think it's a guy that is on Instagram. He's called the Happy Pear. And what I love about finding those recipes is that I can tweak them in a way that I like, the ingredients, and I will show you what ingredients go in. It's just a simple putting everything in the blender and then blending it, and then it'll be covered with chocolate. And so the first thing that I'm going to put in is, it was actually a 3/4 cup of nuts, but now I've served a full cup of nuts, and this is actually, I've chosen walnuts, but you can choose any nuts that you like. So I'm going to put them in the blender. And then it says a full cup of dates. I've actually put some figs as well, just because I had figs. So I'm going to put them in. And then it says 2 tablespoons of peanut butter or almond butter. I've actually got a mix, like a spread with different nuts in them and seeds. So I really like this one. It's very yummy. And so 2 tablespoons of any nut butter you like. Now the next thing is going to be 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder, and I might even put in a little bit more because I really love the chocolatey flavor. And the last thing is a shot of coffee. Even though the recipe says coffee powder, I'm using a shot of coffee that I freshly made from my Aldi coffee machine. But you can also leave out the coffee shot if you're not keen on a treat that's got coffee taste. I actually don't find the coffee taste very intense in those bites. I actually hardly taste it, but I love everything that's got a coffee taste. I love coffee. Flavored chocolate. Yeah, I love everything that's got a bit of a coffee taste. So I will put in the shot, but if you don't want to put in the shot, it needs a bit of water, obviously, to mix everything together. And just play around with the liquids a bit because you want a nice consistency. So now I've blended everything together and it's all in the bowl, and I will now take it out of the bowl and place it on a cutting board with baking paper on the top, just so that it's got something to sit on, and I will put it on there and spread it. So now you've got this blob of mixture on your baking paper. So I will show you. And I'm going to spread that out a bit. I also forgot to tell you that there was a bit of salt and a pinch of salt in the recipe as well. So I use sea salt flakes. So we've spread out the mixture on the baking paper, so it doesn't have to be a perfect shape. So you all just need to put it in the fridge, or you can put it in the freezer. So I'm going to take the raw bites out of the freezer now. So it was probably in here for about an hour, and I slice into bite-sized pieces. see, yeah, on the stove I've got boiling water, and I've put hot chocolate, not hot chocolate, I've put dark chocolate in a cup and in a mug, and it's melting in there. So hopefully it is melted by now. So have a look. So we've got some lovely melted chocolate. And we'll just take one of the bites and put it in the melting chocolate. Make sure you cover it well and put it on the piece of baking paper so it can go back in the fridge. And there we have it, chocolate covered bites. So the next treat we're going to make is chocolate banana bread, and I've got the recipe from a book called The Nutritionist by Lindy Cohen. I'll show you. She talks about intuitive eating in that book and abandoning food guilt, and she shares a lot of recipes in that book. And yeah, today we're going to make this, and I'll just quickly share the ingredients with you that I will all mix in the food processor just because it's easier. So we've got half a cup of oats, a cup of almond flour, and I'm just going to use almond flour today, but you can use any flour you want. The recipe says just normal flour. A cup of yogurt, and I'm using a dairy alternative today, but I have also used it with natural full-fat Greek yogurt. 7 fresh or 14 dried dates. I'm never quite too sure what that means. I've got Majol dates and they're quite sweet, so I'll go maybe for the middle, and I've still got figs as well, so I might use them. 3 ripe bananas, 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder, I might go for more, 1.5 teaspoons of bicarb soda, a pinch of sea salt, 80 grams of dark chocolate, so you can go as dark as you want, 2 eggs, and I also love to mix nuts in it just because I like it a bit crunchy, so I'll add a few nuts as well. So I'll mix all that in the food processor. So now I've finished mixing all the ingredients, and I just wanted to add that I added 2 tablespoons of coconut oil just because I like it nice and moist, so I just tweak the recipe in a way that I like it. And I've also forgot to mention that I'm not processing the nuts or the chocolate chips. Obviously I'm just going to mix them in with a spoon now. And I've also got a baking dish ready to go, a bread shaped one, and I've oiled that with coconut oil as well. I'll put that all in there and it's ready to be baked in that convection oven. And there we have it, chocolate banana bread. So these are the treats that I like making, and they are my go-to treats. So, you know, I'll take them to work and I'll find them in my snack box, usually, you know, sometime after lunch. And if I reach for them, I don't really get those cravings for anything else. And as I've said in previous videos, if I do get a craving for something else, I will allow myself to have that. But if that's my go-to, if that's what I open my snack box to, I'm usually quite happy to have it. And it's, for me, it's almost like, yeah, I will have what I find in there. So if I prepare myself to find something really nourishing in there, and especially based on dates, and dates are very rich in antioxidants and fiber and some vitamins as well, then I've done something really good for my body. I've nourished myself, and it's actually quite satisfying as well. Just as satisfying as another treat, except that I can actually stop eating them sooner because it's not as addicted as something that's based on processed sugar. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.